So in the last lecture, we wrote our first test. That's of course nice. Let's now write another test for the same component for now. So I'll copy this it function, and inside the describe function, I'll just paste it in there. Now, what else could we test? Well, of course, we could obviously test the opposite. We want to have free navigation items if we are authenticated. So for this, we simply need to pass the isAuthenticated prop and adjust our test. So we should render free navigation elements if authenticated. Not if not, but if authenticated. Now for that, we need to change the component we render. It's no longer navigation items, but navigation items with a property is authenticated. And passing it like this will automatically pass it as true. Then we expect to find navigation items, but we expect to find 3 of them. And that's all. With npm test still running, all you have to do is save this. And now you should see that 2 tests passed. Now, of course, we can write multiple tests like this, but if we constantly do the same at the beginning of the test, namely we render the wrapper, even though the props changed, but we can do this differently too. So if we constantly do the same, there is a helper method we can use inside the describe function here. It's the before each function. As the name suggests, this is a function which will automatically be executed before each of your tests. You also have an after each function for cleanup after all your tests if you need to. So here it's before each. And then before each we can do some general setup, of course. Before each takes a function as an argument, and this is the function which will get executed before each test. So with that, what I'll do is I'll create a variable wrapper with the let keyword. And then in before each, I want to render this component with the shallow function and store it in this wrapper variable. Now, since all it functions are executed in this outer describe function, the wrapper variable is available in all of them. So all we have to do is get rid of the const keyword like this, and we now have access to the wrapper. Now with that, if we save this, it should re-execute everything. And now we of course have a failed test. We can have a look at it. The test with should render free navigation item elements if authenticated fails. And it makes sense that it does, because we never are authenticated. We only render the wrapper once here, and we don't pass isAuthenticated to it, so we aren't authenticated. This test of course uses the same wrapper and hence fails. Now what we can do here is 2 things. The first is that we can of course use the wrapper and set it equal to shallow with navigation items here and pass isAuthenticated as we did before. If we save this, both tests succeed. That is one option. But we can also use another helpful method of the enzyme package. We can access the wrapper, and then there is a set props method we can execute on that wrapper. So on anything which stores a shallowy or other rendered React element. And to set props, we simply pass a JavaScript object with key value pairs, where the keys are the prop names and the values, well, the values of the props. So here we could set isAuthenticated to true now. And now if we save, this second test also still passes. Now with the more elegant setProps helper method from the enzyme package. This is how you can write multiple tests and have them to work together nicely.